I'll tell you a funny story, and to this day I don't know if it's true, but I heard it from a Bristol guy. He said a mate of his, a Bristol Rovers fan, at the very last minute decided to drive all the way across and watch Rovers play at Rotherham one Saturday afternoon.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he got there about 2:30, and he was frantically looking for anywhere to park. So he had his Bristol Rovers scarf hanging out of the windscreen, as you do.
Yeah.
And as he's going around all the little housing estates around the ground, he sees a Rotherham police car coming the other way. And he slows down, and the police car goes past him very slowly. And as it goes past, the copper makes a gesture of contempt. I'm not sure how I can describe this gesture, but it involves the thumb and the forefinger forming an O and a movement of the wrist. Okay.
I was doing a great deal of toys as a child.
All right. So having had this from a copper, he feels empowered to return the gesture. Okay. Whereupon the squad car screeches to a halt. These two coppers get out and get him out of the car. And they ask what his problem is. And he said, well, you did it to me first. I thought you were just kind of like engaging in a little bit of gentle banter. And they said, no, sir. I was gesticulating to you that you ought to do up your seatbelt. I don't know what you think I was gesticulating, sir. But it wasn't that.
We had a rather embarrassing moment one Saturday. I had a few beers the night before, a few beers before the match. And then by half-time, I was absolutely breaking my neck for a wee. And you know how crowded the toilets get, the gents at football matches? Oh, yeah. And I'm stood there, and I actually got boxer shorts on, and I put them on back to front.
Oh, you've had it.
And I'm stood there in front of sort of 200 people. Yeah. And did you realise how embarrassing it is when you can't find your willy?
Well, because they all lean over. I'm only 5'8", right? And there's always two bigger blokes behind me, and their heads are right over the top here. Yeah. And you think, ooh. So the worst thing is you can't go. And they can see that you can't go. But you can't hang on there for too long. So in the end, you do a fake shaking off of drips. Turn, do yourself up, and you've gone back, and then you're bursting all over again. I have enjoyed talking to you. I've got to go. It's been lovely. Mate. Take it easy.
Bye now.
Lots of love. Line 3. Morning, it's you.
Hello?
Hello.
Tommy?
Speaking.
Yeah. I've been asleep for the last 5 hours, and I just can't wait if I keep after to get on phone. I was bored of philosophizing crap on the radio.
Yeah, I know. It's absolute garbage, isn't it? What a nice man. I'm sure there are friendlier fishermen than that man.
Hello? Yes, it is. I am a true supporter.
No, you're not.
Why not?
Because you don't have any grace or humility.
Well, you don't, because you was insulting me by saying that you hope they go down and stay down.
Yeah, only because you...
Only because what? You spit it out, spit it out, spit it out, spit it out, spit it out. Go on.
Spit it out, spit it out, spit it out, spit it out.
You can't answer, can you?
I'm chewing a piece of chewing gum, which is frankly more interesting than talking to you.
Well, don't talk to me then.
Clear off then.
See you later.
Bye. Well, you can now choose, right? Which was the biggest scum, all right? The fisherman or the football fan? I'll take my piece of chewing gum out. I think the football fan was, frankly. Although the fisherman was pretty bad. Let's have somebody on now to represent rugby union. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you have any free samples of prune juice at all?
Yes, quite. I know what you're saying, but we can't dwell on it. It's not allowed. Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
Oh, hand this over to Keith.
Honey.
Oh, he needs to be a psychiatrist to deal with this lot, or a hired gun. You're going to need a hired gun to deal with it while at the state I'm leaving the switchboard in.
Cheers, Tom.
Did you see One Flew Over a Cuckoo's Nest?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Okay, right, fine.
And I've read the book several times.
It's a good book, isn't it?
Great book.
It was juicy fruit I'm chewing. Oh, dear. Line 6. You're on Talksport.
Hiya, Tommy.
Hiya. Not bad. That was very good. Oh, he does it. Yeah. You know. Strange. Like Sean Connery's fake lisp.
Oh, yeah.
That is fake lisp.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. And that American broadcaster Howard Stern, he's got a fake lisp as well.
Yeah.
He actually says, that he deliberately chose to speak like that because it sounds more authoritative on air to have a leash.
Well, I thought that was that the American sort of broadcaster way. Anyway, it'll sound like
fake
like
it,
that. Like
fake
got
it.
a mouthful of.
They're fake.
Kind
They're
of
all
fuss.
frauds. He's a fraud. Howard Stern's a fraud.
Did you see that film, wasn't it?
Which one?
Howard Stern.
No, I've seen it before, but it's been on again, is it?
Yeah.
He's a fraud. That thing about going down to the program controller's room and having an argument with him and the phone being taken off the hook so that the audience...
That's a nonsense.
Complete fraud.
And his engineer mate goes into the control room and goes, patch through that phone.
Absolute...
If somebody did that to me, I'd go, what?
Absolute fraud.
Stick what into where?
Yeah, good show business. That's all. Good show
Nonsense.
Nonsense. Good show business. Good show business, nonsense. Myrash. I really do. Line 6, you're live on Talksport. Now, who have we got here? Hello. So patient, Thank you.
Tommy,
Yeah.
can I pleasure your wife?
I doubt it, friend. I doubt it. I have enough trouble myself. Let's go to line... What does that tone mean? Don't know. Let's go to line 3. Line 3, you're live on Talksport. Good evening.
Hello, Tommy.
Hey.
Tommy, it's just this here. Tommy, I'm quietly walking up the stairs. I've broke in. Tommy, there's a Charlie after me. Tommy, there's a Charlie after me. Got away from one. Proceeding up the stairs. Slowly does it. Proceeding up. Bang the ledge. Oh dear, got away from another Charlie there. There's one. There's a Charlie. Sneak up behind him. Oh! Off my hand and the back of his neck. Crunch. He's out. I've got a gun now, Tommy. So right, I'm walking down a long corridor. 5 doors on the left, 5 doors on the right. 1 door just down the other end of the corridor. I need to know where to go. Where will it go?
Oh, is it me? I'm guy. Oh, take a left.
Right, I took a left.
I see. I'm sorry. You've done so well. I didn't realise I was at HQ. Well, no. Let me bring somebody else in if I can. I don't know. Can I bring somebody else in to guide him down? I don't know how I do that. Oh no.
Hit the comp button, mate.
I'll hit the comp button. Thank you.
And then hit another one on the other
Very
fader.
much
You know?
indeed. Okay. Line 4. You're through to the man who's playing Mission Impossible. Would you like to talk him through his little piece of theatre?
I've taken him to the left. There's a door in each one. Came in one door. A door on the left, door on the right, door in front. Where do you go, Tommy? Where do you go?
Line 4.
Right.
Right.
I went to the right. There's a computer sitting in front of me.
Sit down and play computer games.
Right, I've sat down. I'm looking at the computer screen in front of me.
Ask Tommy Mallet
Tommy Mallet?
who you're speaking to.
Is it?
He knows everything. Little Tommy Mallet.
Tommy Boyle? Or
Oh,
Boyd?
is that it? I thought it was Tommy Mallet.
Look, I don't have time. My life's at stake here. There's Charlie's everywhere. Where do you go?
Jump!
Thank you very much indeed. It was a great piece of theatre. Always remember, when you're doing a piece of theatre, it doesn't matter whether it's 30 seconds or 180 minutes, you must have your ending worked out first and then work backwards. Isn't that right, Ash?
Yeah. He was playing something, wasn't he? He was
He
playing
was
a
doing
game.
it. He got his basic idea there, but he didn't know where it was going. It's like when you're telling a joke. All you got to do is be comfortable with the punchline, and it will work. Just be comfortable with the punchline. Say it over to yourself a few times.
Be comfortable with the punchline.
Be comfortable with the punchline. What's your favourite joke, Ash?
What do you call an artist with a brown finger?
Don't know.
Picasso.
Yeah, it's okay. Or in the case of a lunatic fringe who've been backed up since 10 to 10 waiting to get on, do whatever it is they want to do. Give you an example by going to line 2 and saying, "Good evening, line 2, you are live on Talksport."
Is James Whale on, please?
No, not tonight. No, it's Tommy Boyd.
Okay, thanks, bye.
And so there's an example of the kind of call that would normally not have gone to air. Line 3, you're live on Talksport. Good evening.
Hello?
Hello.
I have no claim to fame. My name is Robert. I have no claim to fame. I am, however, rather cold. Cold, Tommy, like the blood that runs through your veins. You evil man. Robert the John gets clean out of the pool every day. I just thought to tell you that. Oh, Tommy?
It's drifting now. You should have finished with the maniacal laugh. Finish there. You should have finished there. You've got to know when to finish, pal.
Well, I'm God, so it doesn't matter.
No, you've got to know when to finish. That's most important. It's the first thing you learn in vaudeville. You've got to work on how you get off. It's usually sing a song and get off. Well, tell the audience you're going and then get off, because then they'll give you a round of applause a little bit bigger and the stage manager will think you're good. Line 4, you're live on Talk. Good evening.
Coming soon, Timmy Tower, the movie, rated 18. If you thought The Exorcist was scary, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I can't fully agree with all of that. Timmy Towers is truly to the left of The Exorcist in my book. Just waiting for somebody's head to spin round. 08700 40 50 60. We'll continue this valiant exercise in total phoning democracy by going to line 3 and seeing who's there. Good evening, line 3.
Hello there, Tommy.
Yeah, hello. Is this going anywhere, do we think? Yeah, I quite like it. Hey, it's good. You think he's doing it live? I think he's doing the top bit live. No. Let's ask him. Oi, caller.
I think it's Chaz and Dave. Big Chaz guy.
Oi, caller. No, he's off. I'll keep him bubbling under, as they say.
It's a shame, he could have been somebody.
Nah, no chance. Everybody's got a few bits of music that are really appalling, haven't they? That we don't throw. Have you ever thrown away a piece of music? It did. Not everybody can do sarcasm.
No.
It's got to be very, very subtle, so you're not sure if the person's being sarcastic or not. That's the way I see it. And if you're going to be heavy-handed, then you've got to be Basil Fawlty. You know, don't beat about the bush.
It was very limp wristed.
Go straight in there, you know, 2 fingers right into the old optical orifices. Let's go to line 5. You're live on Talksport, line 5. Didn't even say let's go to line 1, and he's there. Hello.
Yeah, right. It's Charles.
Charles, hi.
And you wanted us a Ponzi, the French national anthem, didn't you?
Yeah.
I got a live piano here.
Yeah? You going to do it?
Yes.
In English or French?
I'll do it in French, I think.
Fantastic, mister.
Right, okay then. Okay, coming up. Hold on a second.
School assembly there. No, where's the singing? We did enjoy that.
Thank you.
That was brilliant.
We were looking forward to the singing, but we didn't get that.
Oh, no, I can't sing. I can't. Don't know the words, Tommy.
You don't know the words?
Don't know the words, but
if I hand you back to Ash...
Yes?
I'll tell you the words.
We get your number. And I was thinking, we get your number. If anybody rings up and they know the words, but can't play the piano...
Yeah?
We could put the two of you together.
Yeah, somehow we could do it, yeah.
What time are you thinking of going to bed?
Not going to bed till just after 12 o'clock.
Okay, so we've got an hour. On Talksport.
Hello there. I'd like to talk about Whackaday.
What was that?
Whackaday, you know, with Timmy Mallet.
Okay, yes.
I was wondering if you felt any remorse against him, as you were a sort of a child presenter, you know?
Yes.
Is
remorse?
There any... Yes, you know, any hatred towards him as he was a better presenter?
Oh, deep, bitter hatred. Not that he was a better presenter.
Yeah.
But because it corrupted entirely what was once an honourable ethos. You could once walk down a high street and people would thank you. They would come and congratulate you and thank you for the good work that you were doing for the nation's young. And then he came along.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Do you like his glasses?
That's not a very good question, is it? Can you ask a better question than that?
Yeah, sure.
See, you're a product. You're a product of what he did to the nation's youth.
Oh, well, that's it. I mean...
Shallow, feeble, inarticulate.
Do you like Marmite on your toast?
You see what I mean?
That's it. Marmite on your toast. That's the type of stuff he talks about, you know. Whack a day, it's fun today. Here's we got it.
08700 40 50 63. Good evening.
On a serious note,
okay.
Just about chemical and biological experiments being carried on the general public since the 50s, all the way through to current day. Starting with the 50s LSD experiments went on in London, Sheffield, Manchester.
You can't work cancer into this, can you? Because then you've got yourself a BBC lunchtime bulletin.
Okay, right. 1963, 1964, they gassed the subway with non-pathogenic stimulants. In 1970, areas of London, Sheffield, Manchester sprayed. 72, 75, 86, 87, 89. Every other year since 91 to the current day, they've had the flu vaccine. And just recently, if you know, the outbreak of anthrax among the drug population just mysteriously popped up, all done under the auspices of Porton Down in Hampshire. And we live in democracy.
What do you want me to do?
No, I'm just informing the public what we should be aware
wait a minute. No, wait a minute. What do you want me to do?
You've got a raw nerve.
Extreme... What?
Have I hit a raw nerve here?
No, you're boring.
I hit a raw...
No, you're boring.
Oh, because you've...
No, it's just boring,
because you know I'm telling the truth.
It's just boring. No, it's boring. No, it's boring. It's boring.
Did you say democracy?
It's boring.
Okay, did you say democracy? Democratic radio.
But you're boring.
Why won't you let me speak then?
Because you're boring.
Right.
No, because you're boring. Say it, and I'll let you carry on. Say, I am boring,
I'm boring.
But can I please go on a bit?
Please go on.
No. Not whilst you're doing it in a boring... No, not whilst you're doing it... No, I have to cut you off because you're being boring. That's the only reason...
This is not a democratic radio station, Tommy. You know that for a fact.
No, you're just boring.
No,
you're boring. No, you're boring.
You get told
You're very, very boring.
You get told what to say.
No, I can say anything I like.
Yes, I know you can.
And you're boring.
Hang on, Tommy.
Look, can I just explain some things to you? How old are you?
Sorry?
How old are you?
37.
37. That is very sad.
And I've researched this, and you don't... Can
I talk? Because it's my show.
Carry on.
All right. Now, you've come on and you want to do some traditional radio wherein you phone a phone-in program and you want to talk about an issue, right? Agreed?
Yes.
Okay, now shut up there. Just say yes because it's true, right? All right. No caveats. No. You nearly did, didn't you? You nearly did. Now, don't. Right? You have now tried to commandeer this show and turn it into just another phone-in show where people ring in and talk about issues, right?
That's what you wanted?
No, that's not what I wanted. That's the opposite of what I wanted. You're not paying attention.
No. Tom.
Yes, sir. Excuse me. You can get issues on any bloody phone-in you like.
Why won't you let me carry on?
Because you can phone any phone-in program and do this.
But can you? Into you?
Can you?
Sorry?
Can you, though?
Yeah, but why won't you?
Can you phone in any phone-in show and talk this twaddle?
Well, can you? You're not letting me,
no,
so I can't, obviously.
I'm asking you. You must have phoned Radio Power FM in Lowestoft. You must have phoned every BBC local...
No.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
I haven't.
Why not?
Why should I?
Well, why
I'm just
start?
giving you the truth.
Why start? And no, I did not say I wanted people.
You said you
to
wanted
phone
people
in. No, I wanted to find out.
You wanted.
You're misunderstanding the notion of democracy. What does it literally mean?
Democracy is when you can...
No, what does it literally mean? Well, have you got a dictionary there?
I haven't, no.
No, I bet you haven't.
You know, sorry, let me carry on a minute. You know...
No! That's why... No, because you're boring.
You sound pathetic because you know I'm right.
You're pathetic.
No, you sound pathetic. You know
I'm not interested in these juvenile, anoraki...
I'm not a juvenile.
Well, you're sub-juvenile.
Oh, by the way, we're
have
neighbours,
never done... And
we're neighbours.
Look at you.
We're
You're
neighbours.
hopeless. You haven't got a clue.
Ditchling, heard of it?
You haven't got a
where
clue.
I'm from.
Well, you have...
Well, you know Herbie?
You are losing the light.
A bass player called Herbie.
You're
no,
off.
I'm not. Because
you're going now.
I can have my facts.
Bye-bye.
I know you live.
You could not write it, not even Pinter. Fantastic. 08700 40 50 60. Remember, we're sharing the planet with these people, and they've got exactly the same number of votes that you have.
He's the closest thing on earth to the angel Gabriel. He's Tommy Boyd.
half of it. Only 47, 48 in December, but I've already led a more interesting life than any three men you could think of. Any three men you can think of, yeah. Even Chateaubriand, the great French explorer who also invented a great meat dish. My life's more interesting than his. Ronald Reagan, who was a great B-movie actor.
Goulash.
And No, Chateaubriand was what he invented.
Oh.
Right.
That's a coincidence.
Isn't it? I always thought that. It's the same with the guy who invented... You know what the name of the guy was who invented the biro? Ladislav Biro. I mean, what are the chances?
That's mate.
Yeah, because you always get that moment when the dynamic changes. You know, you're at a party and there's four of you and you don't know the other three.
Yeah.
And you don't know which of the other three know each other. Because two of them could be friends or two of them could be married. But they're all talking awkwardly. So for all you know, all four of you are strangers. And all you know is that you don't want to have a conversation with the one immediately on your right or the one immediately on your left because they're obviously very, very awkward people. And it would be very difficult to have a decent conversation with them. And then whilst you're thinking that, suddenly the dynamic of the foursome changes, and the two people that you kind of wouldn't mind talking to are suddenly talking to each other and facing each other, and that means that you're left with the deadwood.
Yeah.
And that's when you have to decide, what are you going to do? So I've got quite comfortable at going, will you just excuse me? I've just got to nip. And I'm gone.
I go, that lovely food over there. I'm just going to get
Yeah. 08700 40 50 60.
But I mean it. You know, it's the meaning in it.
Yeah. Oh, you act it well.
Yeah, I make myself want the food.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And see who's there. Line 1, you're live on Talksport. The exercise in phone-in democracy continues. Who's this?
Hello?
Hello.
It's Jen from Newton Abbot.
Hello, Jen.
I just turned the radio on to hear what I consider the most ridiculous statement that I've heard for a long time. Talking about Mike Tyson.
Yes.
You know, nobody ever sets out to do anything bad. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. You're giving excuses to all and sundry, the hooligans and everybody else. And if that's the case, why do you have to be so rude to a caller who rang up apologising for the last time he called, and you're still calling him a prat and turning him off? Well, you can turn me off.
I knew she put the phone down because she's not up to it. If you believe that Mike Tyson should be continued to be pilloried, and if you... I've got a cup of coffee coming.
She didn't put the phone
down. Real shame that woman put the phone down.
She didn't put it down well, though,
did she? Didn't put it down well, no. See, there are people who object to some of the callers who do nonsensical things on here and are concerned about the fact that people like that have the vote, but I'm concerned that people like that have the vote. Who just want to say nasty things about Mike Tyson, about me, and who want to defend somebody who's virtually indefensible, somebody who has been asked politely and impolitely not to phone this show ever again, and who then does it the following week. You know. And those are the sort of people who, do you think they ever gave a child their ball back? I doubt it. Do you know what my son does? Tommy, boy. Hey, I've worked out what happens when you die.
What?
And I'm really pleased about that. I'm not going to tell you.
Why not?
Well, because it's one of those things that you have to work out for yourself. What do you think happens when you die?
Well, it's sort of like being going to sleep. You go into a sort of dream state for forever.
No.
Dreaming over your life all over and over again.
No.
Well, what is it then, man?
Tell you, what should I tell you?
Because I haven't got time. I'm busy doing other things, man. So I need to know what it is.
But you wouldn't give me your watch or your woman or your
I would.
You would not.
What if you told me what it was?
No, I've spent 47 years in contemplation. You know, I've meditated at Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
I've watched the sunrise from Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
You know, I've gazed out across the rising steam of the paddy fields of Thailand, always wondering why. I've swum with the great grey whales, old hardhead, Estrictius robustus, in Scammon's Lagoon, one of the most revered places in the animal kingdom. I wouldn't tell you where Scammon's Lagoon is because the whales wouldn't want me to.
I wouldn't go there.
I know you wouldn't, but there are always idiots. There was an idiot there.
I wouldn't.
That's neither here nor there. I've talked to as many great people as I can about everything, but mainly this thing, you know, why are we here?
And you've come to the answer.
The funny thing was, it wasn't as a result of logical thought. It just suddenly, it was obvious.
Are you going to start a religion?
No.
What are you going to do with the information?
Live in peace.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's all very well that you're going to live in peace, but what about all of us who are still at war?
This is something you can't tell anybody. You can't tell people certain things. You have to find things out for yourself. You know, it's that thing about I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, but I do and I understand. So you couldn't tell somebody.
So what are you saying, then?
I just thought since the man sang the song at the beginning of the hour, you know, life's going to suck when you grow up. It sucks pretty bad right now. Life's going to suck when you grow up and then you're going to die. You know, I just thought I'd say that I've worked out what it's all about. And I've never thought that before. I've always been looking, but now...
It's not about anything, life.
No, it isn't. Oh, there's not a purpose. But there is something that happens when you die.
What is it?
You want to know what I think, don't you?
Yeah, man, I need to know what it is.
Well,
so I can work on my papers.
Well, what I got to thinking was this, right? When an old lady dies who's lived a life, you know, a good but ordinary life, and she's devoted herself in so many ways to a partner that she loves, and to her children, perhaps, or maybe her friends, and maybe a budgie. All right. There is a hope that when that person dies, they live on.
Yeah.
But what we hope is that they live on as we knew them, which is the kind of... So that what lives on is like the knowledge that old Jim, who she'd been married to for 47 years, right, only liked chicken once a week. And the knowledge that she tended to want to part her hair on the left. But those things don't matter. And the reason I believe something definitely lives on is because of this crucial piece of information. In nature, nothing is wasted. Everything is not just reused, but reused in a refined form. Whether it's man hijacking it in its refined form like coal, or whether it's, you know, just the obvious order of things whereby something more complex and more impressive in the chain of life makes use of an animal or a plant that it might devour. Nothing becomes nothing when it finishes. It either goes into the ground or it goes into something else that's bigger and greater than it is. Right. Same goes for a raindrop. It either becomes the sea or it becomes you, Ash, or me, or, you know. So there's something lives on, right? But what it is what it lives on is not those irrelevant bits of human knowledge that, like, you know, that old woman, she knew exactly which drawer her potato peeler was in, but that doesn't live on. The thing that lives on is what I talked about that was most important in the characterization of that person, which was simply the love that she had for that person and the goodness that was in that relationship that she had with the people that she had that she loved. And that's what lives on. But I think equally, as Shakespeare said, you know, the evil that men do can live on, and sometimes it's possible that if they had a lot of hatred or a lot of venom, whether they knew it or not, that can buzz around as well and get picked up by people. That's what I reckon. Now, you don't have to say, yeah, that's very Mahatma Gandhi, man.
That's what I was going to say.
I've got a feeling you were.
No, I mean...
Something like that.
The thing I said last week, ask him what he actually does for a living, because I don't think he'd be able to provide an answer.
No, he wouldn't. And I don't like I get frustrated. Not frustrated. I just get bored, really. I've got a very low threshold of boredom, and I get bored with people who can't actually have any kind of conversation because there's nothing in it for you. It's like making love with yourself. You know, and it takes two to tango, to make love and to have a conversation. The skateboarding man was a case in point, really.
Yeah. That's rubbish, because I think you're cool.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, you can't really win an argument with someone like myself unless you make up an awful lot of nonsense. Well, I mean, you can't imagine that you would. You never do, of course, but you can't even imagine that you might unless you persuade yourself that you have reasonable cause to make up an awful lot of nonsense. So that's water off a duck's back for a start. Yeah.
Out of, because I'll admit, I was the guy earlier on who called and did that.
Good, very good.
Thank you. Well, actually, I mean, I know a lot of people make a lot of this because you worked together a long time ago, but when was the last time you two actually kind of met? I mean, when was the last time?
Well, when Michaela Strachan got married,
okay,
it was a huge hello wedding at a castle in the West Country, and there were a few people there who were largely there. You know, I mean, they were friends of hers, but it also helped hello up the whole thing. There was Midure from Ultravox and a couple of other guys, and Tim was there in a suit. But he was still sort of irritating.
Is it true that he's a history graduate?
No, I don't think so. I don't know, really. I've scarcely ever had a conversation with him. It's not really possible to actually engage him. He doesn't really talk. You can't have a conversation with him, really.
I mean, you said once on your show that you hated him. I mean, in all seriousness...
Well, I don't know anybody who's ever worked with him who has got a soft spot for him.
Seriously? I mean, I know his shows are complete rubbish and everything, but I mean, in all seriousness, you actually don't like him? I mean, are you being really... I always begin with anybody, a phone call to a programme, or a person I'm going to be working with, either for that day or for several weeks or whatever, or just somebody I'm buying a packet of polos off in a newsagent. I always begin by hoping that person is going to turn out to be a wonderful human being. And so I begin with all the rewards and all the openness I can muster. Okay.
And I persevere with it too. And sometimes it hurts, but I don't give in easily. But I have in his case.
So, I mean, how many years did you have to persevere on Wide Awake Club?
Well, I'll tell you what got really interesting was after about the first 9 months of it, the head of children's programmes at TVAM left, and they made me the head of children's programmes. So I was his boss.
What, did that make him jealous?
No, it made him terrified. But he didn't want to let on. And so what I did was, I just sort of, I mucked him about a bit because he used to like mucking other people about. He thought it was a wind-up. I thought sometimes he didn't quite know the difference between winding people up and just being generally a bit of a pain. That was how it was.
So are you saying that...
So I gave him a bit of a hard time.
Right. I mean, when you say that it's impossible to have a conversation with him, are you saying that he's basically the same in person that he is on TV?
Alarmingly.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
And that is a cause for worry.
Pretty close. I think so, don't you?
Well, I would just presume that that's kind of his TV persona. But if he's like that in real life, then I can imagine that it would...
No, it's not his TV persona. I mean, that is pretty close.
Right.
And I remember saying to him, when they closed down TVAM, and he was sloshing around in his mansion, because he can't play tennis and he can't swim, so why he's got those facilities, it's just a matter of trying to be a rock star, I think.
He's got a mansion?
Well, it's a big house.
Well, where'd you get the money from?
Well, he had a number one, didn't he? And also he's very good at doing the panto scam, which is why I'm a bit concerned about the basic message that's coming out of his new TV series, which is book me for pantos, please, because he's very good at making, a good living out of doing that. Mainly by selling merchandising, I'm told, but I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't. But I said to him during that point, when I met him, I said, look, you're a very intelligent person.
what you've got to do now is find another avenue for your intelligence. And he did that funny sort of look that you've seen 1,000 times on television with that curious sort of twisted mouth smile.
Yes, yes.
And those eyes that are closed into little slitlets through the ornate Dame Edna glasses.
Does he wear those in reality?
And yes. And he went, no, 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 Tommy, no. How could you say that? No, no, ah, ah. And this was like 2 people in a room.
Are you tempted to punch his lights out?
It's been done.
Oh, it's been done.
I didn't punch him. I merely moved into his space, which a boy from Feltham knows how to do, and told him to behave, which he did, largely, in connection with the piece of behaviour that I just witnessed. So that happened, yeah. That happens a lot behind the scenes.
Is he like a real ladies' man? I mean, I presume with his mansional that he must have a woman.
He's married his manager.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay? I don't know. There's no implication in that at all. I'm just saying you married his manager and they've got...
No, I mean,
they've got a child and...
there must be 2 of a kind.
I don't know. I've met her. She's a very nice Aussie lady.
Okay.
But this conversation's probably... I've been very careful through this conversation.
Sure. No. I mean, he's not...
What I want to do is, what I like to do is be open and be objective, and I'm being honest about myself. I'm not being honest about anything else. I'm just answering questions as honestly and as reasonably and as fairly as I can. And if it reflects badly on anybody, it probably reflects badly on me. But,
well, two very quick things.
But at least I'm trying to be objective and I'm trying to be honest about a former work colleague.
Yeah.
And might I say you're doing very well.
Am I getting away with it, Ash?
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. I think it's more useful, I think, for all concerned, if you can do it that way, without being unkind. I think it's just being straightforward and honest. It's not anything, my friend on the line, there's not anything you've heard that surprises you, is there?
No, well, nothing.
Except my honesty.
Yes, I mean, except the only thing that can surprise me is that he's actually in the same in reality. But no, nothing that's going to get any lawyers onto you. So, no, but anyway, just before I go, and you want to go to the news, I guess, round about now, just to say...
Oh, yeah, good work. You're a professional caller here. Thank you for reminding both Ash and me.
Yeah, just keep up the good work, and Jim, if you're listening, please call, because you're a nutcase.
All right.
Ganja.
08700 40 50 60. I'm Tommy Boyd. Ash is here. He's trying to be somebody else.
Very weak.
Very weak. Let's go to line 5. Line 5, you're live on Talksport. Hi.
Tommy, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. I'm fairly well liberally hung as far as politics is concerned, but I probably lean a bit more toward conservative than anything else. I remember about 6 years ago listening to Mo Molam getting grilled by somebody on Sky News. And she was asked very specifically about whether Fergie was appropriate for the royal family and whether she should be living in the royal household. And she responded that if that was the representation of modern royalism, then maybe she shouldn't be living there and maybe she should be living somewhere else. This week in the press, through Spin and whatever else, it appears that all of those words have been taken completely out of context, that the whole royal family should be kicked out and put into some council house in somewhere well out of Buckingham Palace. And I feel that that's probably the start of the press turning well and truly against the Labour Party, which isn't particularly a bad thing. But the bad thing is, in my view, that it's turning against a lot of the good things that the good people within the royal family have been doing for the whole country. And I think that's quite sad, really. Do you have a view?
I couldn't give a toss.
Really?
Not about anything you've said.
Oh, thank you.
Not at all. Any time.
Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
Okay, good night.
Has that helped at all?
No, not really. It's just...
I think it has, There's a message there. You shouldn't... It's very unhealthy that you should give a stuff about any of that. Very unhealthy indeed.
Okay. I'll be unhealthy.
Why? Why not get yourself a life where you care about things that matter?
Well, I think the thing that matters is we've got a royal family.
Doesn't matter. It's got nothing to do with you.
I live in the UK, and the royal family's got a lot to do with me. It has to do with you.
It hasn't got anything to do with you. You need to start at home, sunshine. I am quite certain that every single person who pretends that they care about things like this haven't actually got down to the nitty-gritty of themselves.
Carry on.
Carry on's a cop-out.
No, I would just like to know how you'd like to elaborate on that, because...
No need to elaborate, my friend. There it is.
I know you don't. It's your show, Tommy.
No, there's no need to elaborate. If you have what it takes to hear what was said, then no elaboration is necessary. I don't need to elaborate, because when I say something, it's said, and I've said it.
Okay, the point I was trying to make, Tommy, is
it's not relevant.
It's
not relevant.
What
is relevant? I know you can hear. No, don't go on about it. Nobody gives a stuff listening to this program at this time of night. Nobody gives a stuff, and nobody's going to think you're clever because you might have spotted something that amounts to one of these U-turns that people like yourself love noticing politicians making. It doesn't matter. And Mo Molan is irrelevant in your life. You'll never meet her. You don't know what she's like. You don't show that you care what she's like. And the royal family, you will never meet. And if you do meet them, you'll get a handshake and you'll be passed on. And they are nothing in your life. What's interesting, for me, and for everybody listening at this time of night to this show, is that you want to pretend you care about them.
No, I don't, actually. What I care about is that Mo Molan appears to be...
All right, then, what's interesting is that you want to pretend that you care about what you were about to say you care about, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, mate.
Okay.
Now, what you've got to do is tear up all your pretend interest in these things that are happening beyond your life, okay? And direct what powers of analysis and energy you may have to your own life, who you are. And when you've established that there aren't any curious contradictions or things that are happening that are worth worrying about, between your ears and in your own heart, then you can move on to influence the people who are directly in your life that you love and work with and socialise with.
I appreciate you psychoanalyzing me, Tommy, but that's
and you'll never grow old enough to need to start worrying about Mo Molan or the royal family, because they'll never be part of your life, and you're a victim of the news media more than anything else, who have convinced you that you're nobody unless you're interested in such things.
No, that's not the case at all, Tommy.
It's totally the case.
No,
I'm telling you. No, I know. I'm a psychiatrist and I'm a journalist.
And I'm sure you are. But what I wanted to
well,
make...
I am.
The point that I wanted to make was...
You've made it and it's dull. Don't make it again.
No, it's not yet come across.
It's dull. Yes, it has.
No, the lady said something.
No, please, darling, don't. You've said that. So don't. You're not clever for thinking you've spotted something.
No. She went through a very serious illness in between.
No, please don't go on about it. It's nothing to do with you. This program's about people. You. Not something you think you've perceived about some politician. Phone Nick Ross with it. Go on. You won't get on, by the way.
Thanks.
Okay.
Good night.
Yep.
And to Ash.
Good night. That's true, though, isn't it? I mean, you've got to start at home.
Yeah, you've got to look at your own doorstep first.
Yeah, exactly.
Before you start.
Mind you, I always get nervous when phone calls start off with that. I like to make 2 points, which haven't been made so far regarding an issue.
Yeah, you're always on a loser then.
They are.
When they say they've got points to make, you know
right
you're
down
on
their
the
throat, mate. Right down their throat.
This guy gave you a painting on the Wide Awake Club in 1984.
Cool. What was it of?
It was a replacement show for Datarun and Chartbusters and was presented by well-established children's television personality Tommy Boyd.
Well-established.
Previously presenter of the Saturday show, Children's ITV and What's Happening, together with two new faces, Arabella Warner and James Baker.
Arabella Warner.
The programme ran early on Saturday mornings and contained a mix of entertainment on the lighter side. It had crazy cookery, lots of comedy, behind-the-scenes reports and unusual pets.
It was a television programme.
Yeah.
So it had those things.
Tommy, Arabella, James presented until 1988, blah, 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 blah. TVAM's problems. In 1987, TVAM suffered an industrial dispute in the shape of a technician strike.
Now...